Morning, everyone. Hoping you're having a great morning. It's Friday, October 16th. Crazy how the world is, or crazy how the year is almost over. But right now we're in Pereira, Colombia, which is coffee country. So part of my digital nomad journey is to learn Spanish and see the world. So this weekend I'm going to go to Parque Cafe, which is a theme park that's dedicated to coffee. Thought it would be interesting. So I went to a tour company here in Pereira, and I got three different tours. So I don't know. I felt like that was the best thing to do. It's easier. What I found is it's like easier here in Colombia to like go to the place than do it online because of the fees and everything. And it also gives me an opportunity to practice my Spanish. So I was like, oh, let me go in here and say, hey, I want to do these excursions and everything. And we were able to have a conversation in Spanish and go back and forth. So that made me feel really good knowing that, hey, this is working. And this journey is not for nothing. And give me another year and I should be fluent in Spanish. It should be, and then I could do one of these lives in Spanish and one of these lives in English down the road. But hey, let's see where I'm in a year. My goal is to stay here overseas until I learn Spanish. And one of the reasons why I wanted to start my own firm is so I could travel and learn Spanish because I'm Latino, I'm half Mexican. My dad is from Oaxaca, Mexico, and growing up, I saw that money could. My parent, there's three things you got to do with money: know how to keep it, earn it, and grow it. And my parents didn't know the right money moves to make to help them do those three things. But you don't know what you don't know, and the information today is much more available than it was in the 70s and 80s. Plus, you can, and it's a lot easier to invest today than it was back then because back then you had to go see someone, you didn't have computers, you didn't have any research. um, yeah, it was just a different world back then. So so when it comes to like, hey, when it comes to our parents or the older generation not knowing what to do, they weren't prepared for this, most of them. So hey, let's I'm here to change it, here to change my size to the world. And I wanted to focus on Latinos because I saw that, hey, Latinos are making a lot of money, and I hear the stories that Latinos have to worry about taking care of their parents and taking care of their kids. And the sandwich is like, man, that is tough. And so that's why I decided to become a financial advisor because I saw my friends, like first generation, make more money than their parents, and they didn't know anything about money. So I'm like, I'm going to become a financial advisor so I can help these people out. And that goes into today's live is how I became a financial advisor and where I started and why I'm doing what I'm doing right now. And so I did a lot of research. I Googled online, tried to say, hey, how do you become a financial advisor? So I decided to go back to school, study economics, and learned about supply and demand and how that works and everything, and how the the money supply affects markets and everything. Like right now, the market is up. Well, it's been a little up and down this week. I'm not sure, but like a big reason why the market is up is because of the stimulus money by the Federal Reserve pumping up markets, saying, "Hey, we're going to buy bonds and everything." So, so like I'm glad I could see like how this is all interacting with each other, and you got to look at global trends as well, and you got to realize that hey, a lot of these U.S. companies, I think it's a big portion of their income is coming from international clients. I know like Nike is trying to. I heard this when I was doing my public health degree that Nike is trying to help out a lot of women in Africa because they see like, hey, if these women can buy athletic wear and everything, we can give them the right stuff. Hey, they're going to buy more Nike products. And Africa has one of the fastest middle classes that's growing in the world. So they're definitely when their incomes rise, there are they're going to be able to purchase more stuff. So we'll see how the world ends, but you got to like know these macroeconomic trends and microeconomic trends. So that you know where to place the money at. And so I'm glad I got my public health degree and my economics degree. But after I got my economics degree, I tried to find a job at a major firm, or try to find a job in general as to become a financial advisor. And they were all the same. Basically, you're going to be a broker dealer. They were going to pay for your licenses. So you need a license to become a financial to sell a financial product. You also, a lot of them also are going to tell you to get your life and health insurance license. So you have the ability to sell health insurance, life insurance, disability insurance, because that's a big proponent of how these companies make their money, is by selling these insurance products. They use the insurance product as the method. They use the financial plan to sell these financial products. Like, oh, hey, we see this is what's going to happen. You're going to need this life insurance product. And that's a lot of how these companies work, is they try to sell these life insurance, and that's how they get paid. So there's 3 different types of financial advisors. You have the commission base, so they sell annuities, life insurance, disability insurance, front-loaded mutual funds, so that, hey, whatever you pay, that financial company is going to offer them give that financial advisor a commission for selling that product to you. But the idea is that, like, hey, here's your financial plan. Here's why you need this financial product. I'm helping you out. This is how I get compensated. The second type of financial advisor is a fee-based financial advisor. So you give them money to invest. These are typically managed accounts, typically cost 1% to 2%. And you just make money. So typically a financial advisor who does that has limits on who they see. Like, hey, if you have $500,000 in investable assets, I'm going to, I'll see you and I can help you out with your financial planning needs. They might just look at your investments and that's it. Or they might say, like, hey, let's look at everything involved, like your 401k and your college planning as well. The third way is a fee-for-service financial advisor. So this is basically you pay someone a flat fee or whatever the rate is, and then they provide you that financial service on those terms. And so at my first firm and my last firm, I was all 3. So I could get compensated by selling you a financial product. I could do something like a managed account where you give me money and I manage that for you, or I could charge you a planning fee. And then I did both, but mostly it was very driven by selling these financial products. There was incentives to sell them. There was we got breaks on our rent based on how much our office sold insurance and everything. And I don't know, after a while, I was like, no, this does not feel right. I don't like how I'm always having to go to my clients, and when I say, I'm like, hey, it's time for your annual review. And then I had to figure out, okay, how can I get paid off of this meeting and everything? And that was a big reason. Like, you call people and like, oh, you're always trying to sell me something. You're always trying to sell me something. So you're going to have to play like, hey, I'm not going to sell you something this time. This time I'm going to plant seeds and everything. And then you're going to finally buy something from me. And like, that was with long-term care, life insurance, disability insurance. These are things people need, but I did not like the feeling where it was a very transactional relationship and everything. And that was just not for me. And then I started listening to like the Michael Kitz's podcast. I started hearing, and then the XY Financial Planning Network as well, which is the association what I'm part of, which is a company that it does helps out fee-for-service financial advisors. You're not allowed to get commission trails by being part of the XY Financial Planning Network and everything. So basically, you have to drop your Series 6 and Series 7. Series 6 gives someone the ability to sell mutual funds. No one really does that anymore. The Series 7 gives you the ability to sell individual stocks and ETFs plus mutual funds. So a lot of people are doing that now. Like, I do believe everyone's doing that. I don't know who's still doing the Series 6 because that is not where the industry is heading. But like, yeah, I got my Series 6 because back in 2015, that's what we were told. But then a year later, everyone was getting their Series 7 in the company. And by like listening to Michael Kiss's podcast and hearing all these people start their own firms, like, hey, I left this and do that. It's like, I can do what they're doing. And and once I looked deeper in the company, I found out about the subscription plan. So that's how that's how the majority people could pay me a one-time fee to give them a plan, like, here, do it yourself. Or they could pay me a monthly subscription fee or a retainer fee. And we have progress meetings, check-ins, like, hey, you're doing this, we're doing this, using Trello to track the different objectives and everything that we're trying to achieve and everything. Typically in October, November, we do tax planning. So like tax projections, like, hey, what is going on? What are we expecting this upcoming year? That one meeting where I do like risk management, look at, hey, what is health insurance looking like? What's this life insurance? And then I'm not going to sell the product. And then we'll find somebody that can do that. I'm in Oregon, so I can't really give an analysis on that. I could just be like, hey, you need this product. You should go find, like, this is what you need. Go find it. I would say, hey, go look at three different brokers. Those are basically agents, brokers, are that going to sell you this financial product. Here's some places you can go to help out. But the idea is, I didn't want to be transactional. Plus, I felt like, hey, if I'm selling someone that's a life insurance product that's $200 a month, hey, it might be better to do something else. And then also, like, didn't want to feel like pushing my company's product and everything. And I don't know, when it's something you don't always believe in and everything, but I get the gist. Like 80% of your success with investing is not the stocks you put. It's how much you put away and how long you stay invested. If you have 1 year to invest versus someone who does 50 years, that person that does 50 years is typically going to do way better than the person that just invests for 1 year. And the same thing, if you invest $100 a month for 40 years versus $500 for 40 years, and that person that does $500 is going to typically do much better than the person that does. And that is going to be the majority of the success than what the investments you choose. It's the Pareto's coefficient that says, like, hey, what is 80% of your results is going to come from 20%. So basically the 80% is 20% is that. It's like, hey, how much time and effort do you need to think about, like, hey, how long do I start, or how soon do I start, and how much money do I put away? That's like, oh, I just look at my paycheck. Yeah, it's this is what I can do. This is when I could start. This is when I need it. Okay, that's 20%. The other 80% is like, okay, then now let's look at the different investment choices you could choose. Okay, we're going to choose this one. Here's our strategy for right now. And then down the road, let's look at this. So we can't do all that stuff to help someone out unless we have something to work with. So that's why it's really how much you put away and how soon you can start. The sooner the better. Financial planning is like a tree. The sooner you start, the best time to plant a tree was 20 years ago, but the best time is today. So don't worry about not getting started. You just have to get started. You don't have to be great to get started. You just have to get started to become great. Everything. And another reason why I wanted to become a fee-for-service financial advisor, just remove all those conflict of interest. But like, hey, I'm trying. Like, I know there's these choices that you could choose from, but I'm going to try to persuade you to choose this one because I'm going to get paid a higher commission off of that. I try to make it as fair as possible to my clients, but there's that incentive, and it's something I do not want to be a part of anymore. And I'm glad I'm doing what I'm doing as a fee-for-service financial advisor. I do subscription plans to help my clients out, and also my expenses were really high at my last firm. I was spending about like $4,000 a month trying to stay in business, paying an office bill, paying an admin assistant to do do the paperwork for these insurance products I'm selling or opening these investment accounts to do rollovers and everything, because I got to spend my time trying to try to go after these other people to like convince them to go with me for financial planning. And then I realized, oh, I could do this on my own and then keep most, because then also like since I'm working with this company, they're giving me, I have to give them a split because they're helping me with the compliance and whatever they're doing. And then once I found out like, oh, I could do this and I don't have to do that and I get to keep more of my money, I was like, oh, I'm going to do this too. So there's like multiple ways. So like if you're trying to become a financial advisor, just let me know. But I feel like this is the path that I think is most fiduciary for my clients is like, hey, you pay me a fee. I'm here for you 24/7. Give me 24 hours to respond to a message, but I'm going to respond to that message and give you the least unbiased advice possible, because I don't have to worry about you moving money to me. I don't have to worry about you buying this financial product. And I feel like this fee for service model is something that's the best for my clients and their best interest. And my goal is with my fee is always make sure that client is getting 10 times the amount of value than what I'm charging. So if I'm charging someone $1,500 for the year to do financial planning for them, I want to make sure that they're getting at least $15,000 in value so that they feel comfortable with that fee. And that fee could be a combination of them earning money and then also saving time. I tell my clients that 1 hour with me is saving you 8 hours, because I've been doing this for close to 6 years now. And I know a lot about the industry. I'm constantly learning about what's new in the industry, trying to figure out what's the best way to do something. Right now I'm in the MBA program, and that's really, I'm learning some things about operations and everything. And I really like that for my time management coaching piece as well. And then also I like to do that, have my own thing, because I can do development coaching as well for personal development and time management, because I'm a big believer, like most people don't have a savings problem in the beginning. They have an income problem. You need to make money so that you can live life. And if you're living on the margins, then that's going to make things tough, because you could just have one expense and that could wipe everything out. Like I had a car bill that was about $4,000. It was about $4,000. And I was like, oh my God, just imagine if someone who didn't have the emergency fund to save up for this. And it happens a lot. So that's why we got to work on ourselves mentally, physically, emotionally, spiritually, so that, hey, we can, when those life events happen, we're going to be ready for them. And yeah, so that's basically why I left the broker-dealer world. So one, I could focus on Latinos more. Two, I could be more of a fiduciary for my clients. I feel like the term, it doesn't mean much anymore, because everyone's saying like, hey, we're trying to do what's in your best interest. And that best interest is like, hey, whatever we have here, we're going to give you the best that we have right here. That doesn't mean like, hey, if you go over there, then that's better for you. But because you're going over there and not with me, I'm like, I don't want to tell you that. But for me, I'm going to tell you like, hey, if that's the best, go for it over there. So I don't have to feel transactional. And then also I feel like I'm compensated for my work. Like if I'm going to work 4 to 5 hours on building this financial plan for a client, then I want to make sure I get compensated for it as well. So that makes it, I feel like it makes it more fair for me as well. And I'm not trying to force somebody to buy a product because I'm trying to get paid. And that can happen. You're going to see it. You can see that all the time. So if you have any questions about broker dealers and what's the difference, or if you want to become a financial advisor yourself, let me know. Basically, to become a financial advisor, you just need a fee for service. You just need to pass your 66. That gives you the ability to charge a fee for investment advice that you charge, and then you can start doing all these other things. So, hope you enjoyed today's lesson and learned about why I did this. Big reason why I did is because my parents didn't understand language when I started getting it. So I was like, okay, what do I do? And then I didn't realize what I could do. I would have done this in the very beginning. But I did learn a lot of great things at my last company. Made a lot of great friends and everything. So it is what it is. But I'm pivoting, and that's what happens when it's time to pivot, and just so you don't become stuck. So hope you enjoyed today's lesson. And as always, remember, if you go with Joe, you can grow with Joe, because Joe knows Joe. All right, take care.